Hi guys, today I want to show you how to make my chicken and spinach enchiladas. Enchiladas were the first dish that I actually ever learned to make in my life. I learned to make them in college and I made them all the time once I learned how to make them. They hold a special place in my heart and I could eat them for dinner any night of the week. So I wanted to show you how I make mine. It has spinach, sour cream, cheese, and they're totally delicious. Here's how we make them. Okay, so the first step in my enchilada making, let's make the filling for the enchiladas. I've got a nonstick pan. You can use a regular stainless steel if you want, but nonstick's all I had. I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of just a neutral oil, like a vegetable oil or an olive oil or whatever you have readily available. To that, I'm gonna add 1 onion and we're just gonna saute this down. So when I was in college, this was the first dish that I learned to make all by myself. And we would have these kind of fancy grown-up dinners where we would have chicken enchiladas. I'm not sure we were that fancy at the time, but I still love enchiladas. I could eat them for every single meal. So my onions have been cooking for a couple of minutes and they're translucent. So I'm gonna add the garlic and then I'm gonna wilt some spinach into it. So I've got 2 cloves of garlic that I minced up. Give that a big stir. And then I've got 1 pound of spinach. I know it seems like a lot, it's like a big bowl of spinach, but it'll wilt down to kind of like ½ cup or a cup. So just gradually just add that in there. My spinach has wilted down. It's crazy that a pound of spinach basically just turns into this. And again, if you didn't want to use spinach, you don't have to. I like it in there for a little color and texture, but if you wanted to skip it, you could just make chicken and cheese enchiladas. I'm gonna place this mixture into a big bowl. You could also chop up the spinach after it's cooked, but that takes a little more time and effort that I don't want to do. To this, I'm going to add about 4 cups of cooked chicken. You can just get a rotisserie chicken and pull it, or if you want to cook off chicken breast, just make sure you shred it before putting it in there. I'm going to do 1 cup of sour cream, and then 3 cups of assorted cheeses. So I've got mozzarella, I've got white cheddar, and yellow cheddar, both sharp cheddars. If you wanted to do all mozzarella, you could do it, or if you wanted to do all cheddar, you could do that as well. But 3 cups of cheese. Lastly, we're gonna add a big pinch of salt in there and then give this a stir. One of the things I love about these enchiladas is that they're a really great make-ahead meal. So if you wanted to make them one day, you could bake them off, let them cool to room temperature, put them in the freezer, and then when you're ready to eat them the night of, just put them straight from the freezer into the oven and just cook until warm throughout. So they're super simple and they are a really great make-ahead meal. Okay, so my filling is ready. Let's assemble these enchiladas. So I'm using store-bought enchilada sauce. I find that just makes everything a lot easier, but you could definitely make your own, but I use just store-bought. So I'm using mild because I'm a wimp with heat, but they come in medium as well. So just mild or medium enchilada sauce. We're gonna put about 1 cup on the bottom of whatever you're gonna bake the enchiladas in. Perfect, and then the rest of the sauce into kind of a shallow bowl. Today I'm going to use flour tortillas, but you can definitely use corn tortillas if you're gluten-free or just prefer the corn tortilla. So flour tortilla into the enchilada sauce, and this is when it gets like a little messy, so pardon my mess right here. So make sure you dunk the tortillas in the enchilada sauce and then put it on the surface, and we're going to fill that with the filling. So put about 1/4 cup of the filling right in the middle of the enchilada. I'm gonna roll it up and place it into the pan. Okay, so I've got 1 final cup of cheese that I reserved, and we're just gonna sprinkle that right on top. And don't skimp on the cheese. These are cheesy enchiladas. Into the oven, these go at 375 for about ½ an hour until it's cooked through and the cheese is nice and crispy and broiling. So my enchiladas are out of the oven. You can tell that they're ready when the cheese is nice and gooey and melted. I'm gonna add a little bit of garnish just for some color, and then we are ready to dig in. I'm using just cilantro today, but if you don't like cilantro, you can skip that. Okay, let's taste it. I'm just gonna dig right into the pan, don't mind me, since it's my plate of enchiladas. Oh, looks so good. I could eat nothing but enchiladas for the rest of my life. There's so much like nostalgia and love attached to enchiladas. And this recipe is really delicious and easy. It's one of my favorites. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up below and also subscribe as I upload new videos each week.